It's episode 30 of the Toadstool Boardroom for the week of February 8th, 2023. My name's Logan Plant, and I'm joined today. I'm so glad to be joined today by Chris Shriver. Hi, Chris.
I live in my old man's house.
It's a much different backdrop, but you still got the nice TV.
I do. I have my Super Nintendo set up. I have my Analog Pocket, my Steam Deck, and my project management book, which we won't talk about.
And you're back for good.
Yeah.
You're back in the boardroom. This isn't a one-time thing for the Nintendo Direct. He's back. So we're
wallpaper and all.
We missed you. You missed our big prediction show last week.
I know.
And guess what, Chris? 2 of my predictions for the whole year of 2023 came true today. So I am off to a roaring start. I'm pretty excited about that. We'll get there.
We'll get there. Okay.
We have a big Nintendo Direct to talk about. What a perfect week for Chris to return to us. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, Metroid Prime Remastered. Wow, what a day. I want to get started real quick. Just general impressions, Chris. What did you think of this Direct?
In the beginning, I was a little worried, but I'm glad they kind of got a lot of that. Like, there was a point where they showed, it was some like designer game.
It was the second thing they showed, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the second thing they showed. And I was talking in a Discord and was like, what is this? Like, what are we doing? And then, like, things started to progress from there and it started to get better. But no, I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, there's what's funny is there's a lot of things on this list of just like stuff that I noted down. There's definitely stuff that I missed that was announced that I didn't write down. But there are things that I'm not going to play, but I'm excited have happened for the world.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I think there was something here for everybody. This was a big day for GameCube people. If you're of the age of like 27 to like 35, like 24. You're right in there. I mean, sure. I
love the GameCube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a good day. I was half expecting, and I don't know why, that Zelda Twilight Princess Wind Waker combo pack that we keep like trying to will into existence, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I like this Direct a lot. I think it's interesting because I don't want to sound too negative out of the gate. I loved it. There's a ton of stuff that I'm super excited about, but there were 0 new first-party Nintendo games revealed besides Metroid Prime Remastered. Everything else we already knew about. But I think that speaks to the strength of a lot of what we already knew was coming, and to a lot of this third-party stuff that is coming out. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff in this Direct. But right out of the gate, when I was thinking about this, it was like, maybe this really is the last year for the Switch. Because, Chris, I can't think of a time where we've had a February Direct that has not shown at least one thing that wasn't coming out until some point later in the year. Last year's February Direct, for example, we got Switch Sports, we got Mario Strikers, we got Fire Emblem Warriors. There was a ton of stuff in last February's Direct we had no idea about beforehand that then came out in that year. But this year, it's maybe looking like on the first party front, it's slowing down a little bit, which, well, I mean, for one, Zelda is worth like 3 games in itself. So that's...
Yeah, I mean, you get what, you take what you can get. But I mean, like, there was... that February Direct tends to carry you through June, and then it's usually okay. Here's the E3 like time frame, range of announcements.
Which we didn't get last year.
We didn't get last year. I don't suspect we're going to get it this year at this point. Given the list that we have now, if we do, I don't. I could see a mini Direct in like May, maybe. I don't think they would do anything over the summer. Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting fall, seeing what's coming out. I don't know. Today, this may be insane. Today, for the first time ever, I felt maybe we get new hardware this fall. I actually felt that today.
Really?
I did. And I've been on beating the drum of early 2024 for, I feel like, the last 2 years. I remember in 2021, I was saying spring 2024. Last week on our prediction show, I said spring 2024, we hear about it this year. But I don't know. I'm kind of feeling maybe it's this fall. Yeah, it could be.
The weird thing about, not to get into, because, whenever I arrive, it's always we're talking about the next Switch. But the weird thing about it is like, how many of these games do you make carry over? Like, how many of them either become launch games, or if you buy digitally, that like you can play on the Switch, backwards compatibility, all that.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation they have themselves in, because you also don't want to end up with like a Wii U situation where you confuse people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope it's just Switch 2 and stuff's backwards compatible. But that's for another day, because we have so much news to talk about today. I want to start with The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as we usually start with. It got a new trailer. It was 2 minutes, 18 seconds long. And for this direct, I was working with the IGN news team covering it. And it was a really cool moment for me. I got to write this article for this game. And we do news on a cycle where it's like 5 people and you just go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then back to the top for the next story. And every time I've done a Nintendo Direct, I have kind of gotten like the short stick where it's been like, oh, like they're deciding, should we cover this really fringe game? And they're like, sure. And then it happens to be my turn. And I write about this thing that nobody knows anything about. Today, I got the good end of the deal. I got to write about Zelda. And I was crying as this trailer was playing. Type in Tears of the Kingdom, seeing through my Tears of the Plant, just trying to get the words down on the screen. And that was really cool. That was really exciting for me to write that. And at the end of the trailer, my editor, Kat Bailey, goes, wow, they only showed like 30 seconds. And I'm like, yeah, that wasn't very long. And then I look at the trailer length, it was 2 minutes, 18 seconds, because it just was so engrossing that it was like in a second.
It's a lot of long, like wide shots. Like it's a lot of landscape shots in that entire trailer.
Yeah, this game looks dark. Like I think there's a lot of parallels to that trailer everybody loves to talk about, the 2017 presentation Breath of the Wild trailer, where it starts with that landscape. It starts with a narration of, I think it's Impa that's narrating this thing. She's like, the history of the royal family of Hyrule. But this one starts with, I'm going to call him Ganondorf. I'm pretty dang sure it's Ganondorf narrating, like basically saying like, wipe this kingdom from existence. And then the second half of the trailer is Link doing badass Link stuff. So it's very parallel to that Breath of the Wild trailer that everybody loves so much.
There is, I'm going to jump ahead just because it's like, it's burned in my mind at this point. Mm-hmm. The last piece of dialogue that's said where she says, lend him your strength.
Oh my gosh.
What is she talking about?
I have no idea. I think Zelda's I think Zelda's dead. I'm going to throw that out there.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to have a number of different meanings. I think you are going to physically collect. Tears will be the MacGuffin. We saw the little vessel in an earlier trailer, but I think Zelda's going to die in this game. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that maybe she's going to be like a spirit in his little weird new arm thing that maybe talks to him like a companion would in Zelda games prior to Breath of the Wild. I don't know. But yeah, I think Zelda's dead. I do. I also think that we saw dungeons in the first shot of this trailer. It's dark, and there's like 2 pillars that are glowing on either side.
Yes.
Those look like dungeons that have like appeared to me.
Yeah. I would agree with you there.
Gosh. I feel like they showed a ton in this trailer, but I don't feel like I feel spoiled. I honestly feel like they raised more questions rather than giving us answers, and I love that. I think some people are frustrated. I am adoring the marketing campaign of this game.
They've done a very good job at consistently misleading. Like you think it's going to go one way, and then the next trailer comes out and it's like, well, what? It just makes me more puzzled. And then I think we're going to get the game and we're going to see all kinds of things that we have they haven't even alluded to at this point. And we're all going to be like amazed by it.
Yeah, I think it just looks gorgeous. We saw some new enemies too, these like wyvern bat type things, which were actually like carrying a moblin into battle, but it's nice to see even just a little hint of some new enemy types, because that was a big complaint I personally have about the first Breath of the Wild, is that like you've seen most of the enemies.
They are very copy paste. Yeah. I hope you hope that it's like they're building upon what they had in Breath of the Wild, right? But like the fact that there's even like, I always bring up Destiny on the show. I don't know why. Like Destiny has this problem where it's like you're fighting the Vex, and it's like they have 3 types of enemies. And Breath of the Wild was kind of that way. And I hope it's not like almost like akin to what a Destiny expansion would be, where it's like, no, now it's these 3 types of enemies that are new, and everything else is the same.
Yeah.
It's just now they have armor sets. I don't think it'll be like that because I think there's a lot that we still haven't seen from this game. And I think there's a lot that we won't see until it releases. Yeah, I hope because you got to hope and imagine that there are enough new tools that Link is equipped with that they have to develop enemies around that to make it more unique this time around.
Yeah. We saw some really cool new tools. He has this almost like little cannon, like hand cannon that shoots like a ball of energy like a cannonball as a weapon. So that's a super cool new weapon type that I liked. And then also the press release even mentioned this. It said that these like new ancient mysterious vehicle types that Link uses to traverse the world, and we saw him on this like hovercraft thing in the sky and then on like a car version of it on the ground, and honestly don't know what I think of them.
It reminded me, and like I haven't been on Twitter much today. It reminded me a lot of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts for the Xbox 360.
Great.
Like you're just like building this random thing, and it's like, well, it'll help me get there. Like,
yeah, I think that's interesting though. I think there's a lot of new stuff, a lot of stuff we haven't seen. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. There's another point. Before we get to the more controversial part of the story, there is a new amiibo, which is one of my predictions that came true. I said that Tears of the Kingdom will get an amiibo, and that will be the only amiibo this year outside of the Smash line. So we'll see if that holds through the rest of the year.
I could see that happening.
The amiibo looks great. It is from that pose from the Nintendo Live event from October, which I said on this show, I think that's the Tears of the Kingdom amiibo. Here we are. It looks great. And there's also a collector's edition that comes with a steelbook, a steel poster, 4 pin badges, an art book, and a physical copy of the game. I think it's kind of a lame special edition.
I ordered it, and I think it's kind of a lame special edition.
Yeah. I tried to order it when you sent me the link, and I think it's a lame special edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just has nothing on the one that I got for Breath of the Wild, which has the Switch case that I still use today.
I don't know what I wanted in here. Like, I'm still upset that I never got the statue that was in like the super limited like Breath of the Wild one. And I think I was expecting something like that I was like, well, at least I have this. And instead it's like pins. Sick. Like, I don't know what to do with, I don't know why pins are a thing. If you like pins, I'm sorry if I'm offending you. I don't know what to do with them. It just seems like the type of thing that it's like, all right, you're going to get all these pins, you're going to stick them on things, and then you're going to lose them anyway.
Yeah.
So then you don't put them on anything, and it's like, well, now they're just taking up space. I don't understand the point.
And the box art for the special edition is very minimalist. Like, it's mostly just black with some of the Tears of the Kingdom iconography on it.
The Breath of the Wild one was similar. Well, for the master.
Oh yeah, for the one I got, it was the
edition
box
or whatever
art,
it was,
but bigger.
Yeah. The special edition with the case was cool.
Yeah, so that looks all right, but the amiibo looks awesome. I'm very excited about that. And then the big story that kind of was going on Tuesday, that then was confirmed on Wednesday, is that Tears of the Kingdom is $69.99 MSRP, and social media kind of went up in flames. And I hardcore disagree with most of the takes that were going on. I want to hear what you think of this price first. But first I want to point out Pikmin 4 is $60. It comes out after Tears of the Kingdom. So this is not a new first-party games are $70 from Nintendo. This is a case-by-case basis. Tears of the Kingdom is a AAA, top-of-the-line game, not just for Nintendo, for the industry. It's been in development for like 6 years. I get it. What do you think, Chris?
I agree with you. I mean, I'm also like, I paid, what was it, $100 for like The Last of Us Firefly Edition, like the remaster on PS5. Like, I get it. And if I want something badly enough, like I'm going to dish out the money for it. Excuse me. That being said, I mean, I understand like if you are on a budget and but it's like, it's Zelda. Like, it's not like you're not. This isn't a 2-hour game. Like, we all. If you invested in enough time into Breath of the Wild, you know what you're getting. You probably put in over 100 hours. I think most people did. Especially if you did every shrine and all that happy stuff. No, I think this is justified. Unfortunately, the cost of everything is going up. The amount of resources that probably went into this compared to most things that Nintendo puts out. Like, I'm more upset on the other end of the scale where there are Nintendo titles, any console manufacturer, let's be real. There are titles that I have paid full $60 for that I am upset that I paid that much for. Like, I'm more upset at those than I am paying $70 for Zelda. It's kind of like, I get it, but it's a quality item and it's going to last you a long time.
Yeah. And yeah, it is. I'm frustrated by the takes that I'm seeing where people are like, you're expecting me to pay $70 for a game on this hardware. And that just doesn't make sense to me. It really just doesn't.
Yeah, that's not a good argument. I'm sorry. It's just not.
I think it's born from Sony and Microsoft saying, because games are on next gen and more expensive to make, which is true, we're upping the price to $70. And I think that people got that in their heads that, okay, so if it's a next gen game, it's 70. But that's not some hard and fast rule. That's just the marketing from Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, that's just their PR people saying that. And quite frankly, like, as far as I'm aware, we haven't heard anything from Nintendo about this. They were just like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, it was
Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom is going to be $70.
Yep, it was snuck into the press release today that I read when I was writing this article.
Yeah.
And I also even saw some people being like, well, if these other Nintendo games are staying 60, why is Tears of the Kingdom 70? I'm like, no, don't say that. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. If it's like the Zeldas, the Marios, like the Smash Brothers, like these types of games are 70, sure, absolutely. I totally get it. I just don't understand why people think that you need this upgraded hardware to, quote unquote, justify raising the cost of a product. My McDonald's chicken nuggets have gone up in price in the last 10 years.
Look at the cost of eggs right now. Like,
yeah. Like, it's like, okay, is it coming from a new chicken or an old chicken? If it's from an old chicken, I don't want it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, inflation is kind of crazy right now. And Nintendo actually in their latest financials announced that they are giving raises to all of their developers, which I think is great news. I think we hear about underpaid developers and things like that. And if I'm going to be fronted that cost on a $70 game, sure, you make the best games in the world, Nintendo. I'm willing to pay for what I think is going to be a really special game in a few months.
And not only that, how many tech companies have had layoffs over the last 6 months?
Gosh, yeah.
Like, it's they're literally doing the opposite.
Yeah, which is great. I don't want to sound like some Nintendo shill saying like, I'll pay whatever for this game, but I do believe it's justified in this case. And I was happy to see that Pikmin is $60. I was
like if they were to come out and be like, there's a new WarioWare and it's $80 or whatever, I'd be like, no, like, what are you doing? Like, I would be upset by that. I think this is a rare case where I'm willing to be like, no, I get it.
And it's actually interesting to see Nintendo being flexible with some of their prices, because it has pretty much been, if it's on Switch, it's $60 through this generation. Yeah. There have been exceptions. Captain Toad is 40, WarioWare was 50, Switch Sports was 40, but mostly they've been $60. So to see, like, I'm looking at the next three main games, the three main featured games in this Direct. Pikmin 4 is $60, Zelda is 70, and Metroid Prime Remastered is 40. And I'm like, that's great. Those are, I think those are priced accurately. And I also am frustrated with the people I'm seeing talk about this online equating value to performance, because it's like, when have we ever done that before? Like, that's a very 2013 argument to say like a game's only worth $60 if it's beautiful and runs great. Like, that's just not how it is. It's like, there are plenty of games that come out at $70 that do not run great. Yeah, Forspoken was $70 and did not run very well. It's a perfect example. Yeah, and it's like God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, sure, beautiful game, next gen, $70, 20 hours. Like, people if you can talk, or is it longer than that? I don't know. I put in like 65. Okay. Well, sorry for the poor example. But yeah. Miles Morales was like 4 hours to beat that game. And that's was like almost a full price. A good example. It's like there's so much that goes into value beyond how pretty it is and how well it runs. And we know that. It's gameplay, it's story, it's all these things. And I'm not saying God of War's not worth $70. I believe it is. But I don't think Zelda's not, because it doesn't run in 4K. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it's ridiculous.
Agreed.
$70? It's all right. It's okay. I'll drop it. I'll drop it 70 right now.
They got my dollars.
Yeah, they got your 130.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, for the collector's edition.
That's right.
Anything else you want to say on Zelda?
It comes out on my dad's birthday. I don't know how to tell him I'm not going to see him, but if any of you have any ideas, feel free to let me know.
Okay.
He lives next door, so it's a little hard to avoid him now. Yeah.
That game's coming out the last day I'm in Japan, which is going to be awesome. So there's going to be a little Boardroom hiatus. Not like the last hiatus in 2 weeks. Well, we might pre-record something, some fun little special show to air while I'm...
What, and talk about how we can't wait for it to come out?
Yeah.
Well, all these knuckleheads are out there running around with their robot arm or whatever he's got in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it'll be a really fun show because I'm doing a bunch of Nintendo stuff in Japan. Going to Super Nintendo World, going to go to the Tokyo store, the new Osaka store. So the first show after Zelda comes out, we'll be talking about Zelda and all that stuff. It's going to be big.
I expect texts in both locations being like, okay, this is the merch. You're a 2X? Awesome.
Okay.
Although I don't know how that translates in Japanese size. I'm probably like a 9X in Japanese sizes.
I think it actually might be the same.
Is it?
He lives in Japan, and he says he wears the same size.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah.
I got a friend over there. I can ask her.
All right, that's Zelda. Cannot wait. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a game. And I've been excited for a lot of games in my life.
What's fun is like I'm busy enough that all of a sudden I'm going to turn around and I'm going to be like, oh my God, Zelda comes out next week. Yeah. Like it's a great thing.
My life's been like that too lately since finishing college. It was like, and getting into real job stuff like that, life responsibilities. It's like, oh my gosh, it's February 8th already. Like that's crazy. Like, yeah. And like when you're a kid, it's like, oh, this game comes out in 3 months. That feels like ages away. But now it's like, I'm going to blink and I'm going to be in Japan picking up Zelda at the Nintendo Tokyo store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And there was a lot else in this Direct to talk to. Let's go way of Metroid Prime next. We mentioned it a few times. Because it's out now. Metroid Prime Remastered is out digitally today, and it comes out physically 2 weeks from the day we're recording this. That's February 22nd, a Wednesday, which is interesting. There's already... maybe they just wanted to get it out as fast as possible. There's already 2 Switch games coming out on that Friday, the 24th. I don't know why they didn't just go for the triple threat and put all 3 out on that day. But
what comes out on Friday?
And also, it's 3 very different audiences. It's Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe on the 24th. This is February 24th. So 2 days after.
Right.
And Octopath Traveler 2. And Metroid Prime could have come out that same day. And those are 3, like, not big overlap. And for people that it does overlap, insane people like me who are going to buy all 3, it's like, yeah, I'll just go to the store and grab them all. But,
I'm poor now.
but Metroid Prime Remastered, $40, out right now. It is only the first game, not 2 and 3. This has been rumored for ages, and this is pretty much what was rumored. That it's just the first game, and it has modern controls. And Chris, we talked on this show that I personally would rather have this than all 3 games with old controls. So personally, I'm thrilled with this reveal today.
Yeah, and honestly, this is probably all that. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see Echoes and Corruption, like remakes like this on the Switch, but this is probably all that you need for like the mainstream Switch owners to get them familiar with the Prime franchise. It's like the cream of the, in my opinion, it's the cream of the crop of like that trilogy.
I think everyone pretty much agrees.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like universally accepted. But I mean, up until now, in order to do like a dual analog type thing, you were playing on Dolphin with Prime Hack, and you were doing it on the Steam Deck because it's super easy. But now, I mean, the graphics like are super updated on this one compared to like even what that thing is doing.
But it still looks like a GameCube game on this rematch. It still looks like
it does. Like it just they've managed to somehow retain like that style. While giving it like just enough polish, because like whenever you would like the scanning specifically, when you would like scan any of the enemy types or objects or anything in that game, there were like these super like low res JPEG images, and now they're all like beautifully rendered in the game. I mean, Samus in general, like just her suit is like all rounded. There's no blocky edges around her and all that. I wish I wasn't such a like physical collector, because I would totally like not be here and be playing it.
Yeah.
But I pre-ordered it and I'm waiting
But
to play
also,
it until.
shout out to Nintendo for shadow dropping a physical game. That is really cool.
Yeah, that is
cool they
really
did that
cool.
today.
Yeah.
So I haven't
I mean,
pre-ordered.
is this the first or second time they've done this? Like, I can't remember with Mario 3D All Stars. Did they do a
It's out
similar?
in like 3 weeks. So
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is, I think, the first time, and people thought that was going to be Advance Wars, which did get a date, but not for a couple months. But
Yeah.
I talked about Metroid Prime on the show. I've never finished it. One of my greatest Nintendo sins. I booted it up on my GameCube on the CRT. It still looks absolutely amazing. I just couldn't get past the control scheme. I really couldn't. So I put it away and said, this remaster's been rumored for years. I'm going to believe that it's real, and here it is. And I'm going to buy this the day it comes out and play through it. I can't wait for that. I think it's.
I'm pumped to play it on the OLED.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really cool. Also, pricing it at $40. Like, nice job, guys. Like, a lot of people are going to buy this that would not if it was 60.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like this game has such a legacy for people of like our generation. And even if you just heard your friends talk about it, like how many people own Switches at this point? Like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. If Prime 4 does still hit the Switch and it's not a next console thing, I think it's going to be a cross-gen title, personally.
Same.
But I think that if that game comes out, maybe this year, I'm kind of feeling it in my gut now, but if that game comes out this year or next, along with the next console, and you line up Dread, Prime Remastered, and Prime 4 side by side, wow, that is like, there's not been a better time for Metroid since Prime.
And
that's amazing.
They finally, I'm gonna jump the gun. They finally did the thing I've been saying they need to do, and that's add GBA support to Nintendo Switch Online.
Oh, they did it.
So they're adding Zero Mission and Fusion to, or at least I know they're adding Fusion. I don't know if I saw Zero Mission.
In there.
Yeah. But regardless, you're, legally, you're getting exposure to those titles if you're a Switch owner.
Play them. Metroid's awesome. Metroid is so cool. All right, let's talk about Advance Wars. Advance Wars 1-2 Reboot Camp is coming out on April 21. This was my second prediction that was right. I said last week Advance Wars was coming in April. So,
did you say April?
I did.
Yeah. Oh, good for you.
When everyone was like, "It's coming out next week," I was like, "It's coming out in April."
I wanted it this week so badly.
Yeah, I was like, "There's no way it's this close to Fire Emblem," and then it turns out it's because they dropped Prime too. Also, this week instead. But yeah, it's coming out. It looks good. It was supposed to come out last April, so this is a 1-year delay after Nintendo decided not to release it. I'm excited for this one. I think that we've talked about this. This is not the first Direct that this has been a pattern, but really the nostalgia, like you mentioned, for this age group that grew up with the GBA and the GameCube, that stuff is in right now in terms of nostalgia. And it's like, I look at this list and it's like Prime, Game Boy Color, and GBA on Switch Online, Advance Wars. Even Pikmin has very strong ties to the GameCube.
Katamari, Batten Kaitos, which is like, what?
Yeah. It's pretty amazing, everything that's coming right now. But Advance Wars looks good. They didn't have really anything new to say because its marketing campaign was pretty much complete when they decided to pull it. So we've seen what that game is, but it does look very good. And I'm excited to finally play Advance Wars because I never did. So it should be fun. You've played the originals, right?
I did. I played the first one. I am very pumped. I've had this pre-ordered as part of one of those like Target buy two get one things since it was announced. And every now and then they're like, "Do you still want it?" And I have to be like, "Yes."
But finally, April 21, the day I leave for Japan. And then when I'm in Japan, Star Wars comes out on PS5, which I'm very thrilled for. And then the day I come back is Zelda. So, like, the day I come back, I'm going to have these 3 games that I've been very much looking forward to.
How long are you in Japan for?
3 weeks.
Wow.
It's going to be awesome.
That is a long time.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if I could do that.
It's been delayed so long. I was supposed to go in 2020. It's been delayed for years, and
I mean,
a week,
10
good
days,
for
2
you. Weeks, 3 weeks. Like it just kept growing. The longer it was getting pushed back. But, anyways, Kirby's Return to Dreamland is getting a new epilogue, and there's a demo out today. This game, I'm going to tell you, this game's underrated. This game is really good. It's my favorite Kirby game of all time. I think it's phenomenal. It's just as good as Robobot. It has multiplayer, which is super fun. I like it more than Forgotten Land. It's a great game. I think if you haven't played it, it's totally worth it.
I remember playing this a little bit on the Wii, and I don't remember much. I remember it being like a Kirby game. Like, it doesn't have this like staying power in my mind.
It's one that's multiplayer really lifts it. It's great playing it with
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see this being one that like on a random sale in August I pick up. I will not be getting this day one.
It also is having the new epilogue, stars Magalore, who is like the main original character in this game, and it looks pretty cool. Like there's 20 new levels in this epilogue to the game, so even for double dippers, this is a good one. And I played the demo before the show. It looks amazing on the OLED, as most games do, but this one with its thick character outlines and bright colors, it looks really, really nice in handheld mode. Plays great, and the new minigame Hub World is really cool too. And there's like masks you can buy to wear, a la Majora's Mask. Like you can wear a Waddle Dee mask, but still play as Kirby. It's just stupid and funny. So yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff in this game. Like the kind of meter of has this game earned its deluxe subtitle and its re-release. It varies greatly on Switch, from the Tropical Freezes, which adds essentially nothing, to the Bowser's Fury
mode,
which adds a whole new level. And this tends much closer to the Bowser's Fury. It's looking like a really nice remaster of this game.
Nice.
Then we got Game Boy Color, GBA games are out on Switch Online today. I really like how they handled this, Chris. Game Boy and Game Boy Color are on the base subscription, and GBA is part of the expansion pack. I think that's a really nice way to split it up.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah, I was worried they were going to price us even more if we wanted the GBA, but the expansion pack is a really good value now. Like, if you don't have it, it's really good now. It wasn't when it launched, but I think it's really, really nice now.
I mean, it's like any of these. Like, it gets harder to poke holes in it as it matures, as they add more content to it.
GBA, what you excited to play?
Well, I'm interested to try Golden Sun because we were trying to figure out how that's going to work without the sun. I don't know if they've integrated because didn't that game have like you would like hold your Game Boy up to the light or something? Was that in that game?
I know very little about Golden Sun. I know very little.
It's either that or Uncharted Lost Legacy. Now that I'm saying this out loud, that might be Uncharted or Golden Abyss. Yeah.
I don't think that happened.
Yeah, I don't think Golden Sun had a special cartridge. Now that because there's no light sensor on the GBA. Now I'm just saying things. Anyway, I'm excited that the Oracle titles are on here. Honestly, though, like for me, like I have the Analog Pocket. I got this nice little grip from somebody off Etsy. I've been playing like a lot of GBA games over the last like year. I'm excited for people to play GBA games that they've never played before. If you've never owned it, it's like it's the Super Nintendo, but you can put it in your pocket, and now you can play it on the Switch, and it's great. Is Donkey Kong 94 on there?
Not yet, no. It was not included in the launch lineup.
Were any of the Pokemon games other than the Pokemon trading card game?
Just the trading card game.
Shout out to Joshua Mobley because he already beat Super Mario Land 2.
That is a very short game. But
he was awesome. I might be the first person to do this. I was like, I bet you're not, but I didn't realize it was that short.
The GBA launch lineup is very good. Minish Cap is there now. You can play Minish Cap on Switch.
That's surprising.
Right now. Yeah. Superstar Saga, amazing game that is on Switch now. The original WarioWare, awesome. Super Circuit.
The original WarioWare is tight.
I don't like Super Circuit very much, but it's there. And Super Mario 3, another version of it, with hopefully the e-reader levels, which are kind of lost to time physically.
They're probably not there.
Yeah, I don't know if they're there or not. Yeah,
probably not.
This is all very fresh to us. We'll probably know next week. And then I'm going to be honest with you. I booted up the Game Boy app, looked around it, and I'm like, I'm good. And then I closed it, but I do think it's cool that it's there.
The Game Boy has finally reached that point where it's like, unless you're trying to play like 3 games, like there's really no reason to go back.
Yep. But Link's Awakening DX is there. Metroid 2 is there. 6 Golden Coins. Kirby's Dream Land. Tetris. Wario Land 3. Like, there's some cool games there. And there's more coming. F-Zero Maximum Velocity is coming to Switch. I can't wait to play that again on Switch. That's going to be awesome. Yeah. But I'm going to be honest. As long as they have these nasty borders on the side, it severely limits how long I play Switch Online. I hate them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because it seems like a thing they would do. Like, you know how you can get like create your own avatar on the Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah.
Which I haven't done in a while. I love doing that. I'm surprised they don't have a space where it's like buy borders for any of our emulators or like whatever they were going to call it. Like buy the Zelda one, buy the Mario one. Like it's 2 JPEGs, just slap them on the side.
Yep.
I'll give you 5 points for them.
I'm trying to show you my my profile icon right now because who do you
my Switch has been dead since I moved into this house.
Oh no!
I know. I haven't charged it. I haven't played. The only thing I played is Dead Space on the PC and the Steam Deck.
There he is, in all his glory.
Oh, I know him. Yeah. I know him.
Yep.
He's a man.
Did you know I like F-Zero? Did you know that I really love F-Zero?
What's F-Zero? I've never heard of that.
It's the greatest racing franchise ever created.
Oh, I thought that was Mario Kart. Weird.
No. It's the greatest kart racing franchise. Okay. But yeah, GBC, GBA is there today.
I'm so glad it's there.
Cool. Yeah, also, that would have been enough for out today. The fact that that's out and Metroid is out, awesome. Yeah.
Oh. What they didn't show and what I hope becomes a thing. I don't know how or why they do it.
Me too.
What's that?
Kid Icarus Uprising HD.
No. So like Fusion, if you had Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance and you plugged it into Metroid Prime, you could get the Fusion suit in Metroid Prime. I want that to work somehow with the remaster. I know it won't, but like just make it work.
I feel like if that was going to work, Fusion would have been in this launch lineup of GBA games, and it's not there.
Yeah, it's not there. It's definitely not going to work. But like I want it to.
Me too. Also, this is actually a big one. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which has 4-player co-op, is coming to Switch Online, and you can actually play it online. It's in the 3DS Ambassador program, but you couldn't play it with other people. So Amazing Mirror has real multiplayer now. No link cable nonsense. That's a big deal to me. I have a friend who we both loved that game as kids. We wanted to play it together on 3DS. We couldn't, and now we finally can, like 7 years later. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool one. But let's move on from that to... There were 3 moments that I lost my mind in this Direct. And I don't think that you'd be able to guess them if I asked you to guess the 3 hype moments I had.
I bet you I know one of them, because it's probably the same as one of mine.
What?
The return of Professor Layton.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay, let's go there next. I lost my mind at that. Like,
yeah, dude.
That is
and
so
it was only
exciting.
like a 10-second trailer. Like, I was like I saw the little hat. I was like, no. And then I was like, maybe it's some stupid spinoff. And then it was just like Professor Layton and the murmur. And I was like, yeah.
No date, no nothing. Just a new mystery begins. It is called Professor Layton and the New World of Steam is the title.
New World of Steam.
This is how weird this is, Chris. I've been really into Doctor Who over the last few months.
Okay. Sure.
Binge watching Doctor Who. I've loved Doctor Who for years, but I've just been on a huge kick of it lately.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, there's no good Doctor Who video games. They've tried, they're terrible. So I was thinking, what is the franchise most like Doctor Who? And I landed on Layton because it's this distinguished British gentleman who solves supernatural mysteries without using violence. I'm like, yep, that's it. It's very similar. So then I got on this Layton kick. I was looking up all the Layton games, and I've played them all except for Layton's Mystery Journey, the Lady Layton one that came out on 3DS and Switch.
On the that
I've heard it's not very good.
Yeah.
But literally today, this shows up in the mail because I bought it on Switch. This is Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy Deluxe Edition. So it's the Switch port of the most recent Layton game, and I'm like, I gotta play some Layton. And then this game was announced on the same day. That was pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I love Layton. It's nowhere near Phoenix Wright for me. Ace Attorney is like 30 to 40 rungs above Layton, but Layton is really great. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I have a lot of fond memories playing. Curious Village was like that was the first one, but like that was, I think that was the name of it.
Yep.
On the DS. Like, that game was toy.
Yeah, it's really
And then whatever the mask one was on
Miracle Mask.
Miracle Mask, yeah.
3DS
That one was
ones
pretty
aren't
good.
as good for me as the DS ones.
No, the DS one was like.
Are these the only two you played?
I think so.
I've played all 7.
I gotta look at the Layton games.
There's Curious Village, Diabolical Box, Unwound Future, Last Spectre, Miracle Mask, Azran Legacy, and the crossover with Phoenix Wright.
There's that many?
There's 2 trilogies. There's an original trilogy, which is Curious Village, Diabolical Box, Unwound Future. And then there's a prequel trilogy, which is right when Luke meets Layton. And Luke's like a little kid. And it's Last Spectre on DS, which is like $140 now. And then Miracle Mask on 3DS and Azran Legacy on 3DS. And then there is a mobile spin-off that's like the Layton brothers. It's like his nephews or something like that. And
People didn't like that. I remember that.
yeah, it's not good. There's the crossover with Phoenix Wright. And then there's this one, the Layton's Mystery Journey.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
Unwound
may,
Future's the best one. It's number 3.
I may have to
It's cheap.
dip into this.
And it's the best one. Its story is absolutely insane.
All right.
There's also a Layton movie that's really good. Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. That movie's good.
The Eternal Diva?
I think so, yeah. It's a good movie.
Okay.
But I love Layton. Yeah, I'm all in. And he looks great. My boy was looking fine in HD in this trailer. And I'm really excited about that. Also, shout out to Level 5 for coming out of nowhere because they were basically done publishing things in the West. They were done. And they came back in a big way with this and Fantasy Life. Fantasy Life 2 is here. It's called The Girl Who Steals Time. Fantasy Life was a 3DS RPG where you like chose between 20 different professions. And there was like dungeon crawling and base building and things like that. And it was a really, really great 3DS game. And now it's back with a sequel. And that was a really cool one too. But yeah, shout out to Level 5 for coming back and bringing back these 2 franchises. You got to play Unwound Future though. It's the best one.
I'm just on eBay looking at Professor Layton games now because now I'm just like, well, how much do these go for?
Well, I'm going to bring you back to talk about the other moment that got me hyped. You got 2 of them. Zelda was one. I'll give you that one for free.
Okay.
Layton was the other. And what was the third one?
Samba de Amigo. No, I'm kidding.
Some people are hyped for that.
If it wasn't Batten Kaitos,
It was not.
yeah, you don't. Oh no, I know what it was. It was Birdo coming
It's
to
Birdo.
Mario. You were the first thing I thought of when that happened. I was like, Logan's gonna lose his mind.
Unbelievably excited that Birdo is back in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I have complained about this on dozens of podcast episodes.
Every time we've talked about Mario Kart.
Every time, because it is a shame that up until now, Birdo's not been included. They had a beautiful chance with Deluxe to right the wrong. They had a beautiful chance with the Booster Course Pass. And now they're doing it. And Birdo has 9 different colors, a brand new course called Yoshi's Island. And yeah, I can't believe it. We're getting new characters. And this opens the door for maybe Diddy Kong, the other eternally shafted character, to get into the roster. But I might exclusively race as Birdo for a very long time after Birdo comes out. And here's the thing, Chris. I don't even really like Birdo that much. I don't care about Birdo. It was just unreal to me that Birdo was not included.
It was offensive. It was a mistake that was made a decade ago.
Yep.
And they're finally doing right by it.
Oh my gosh.
Which is pretty hard to believe.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was a decade ago.
That level also looks pretty good. The Yoshi Island one. I like how they've stylized the cloud that you can I assume you can hit that with an item and it does something, like a shell or something. I don't know.
I think it's just an item box.
Oh, is that what the item boxes are? Okay,
so.
That's cute. I'll accept it. I'll accept that.
Yeah, looks cool.
Yeah.
New course, unknown if it's in tour already. I tried to do some research. It doesn't look like it is, but it's very possible it's like debuts in 8, but was actually made for tour and then comes to tour like a month later because that happened.
Yeah, they seem to be like coinciding. Like they release like the same day or around the same time frame. That's what they tend to do with those.
So that is most of the new first-party stuff. There's also a ton of DLC for some of these games. Splatoon 3 is getting an expansion pass with 2 waves. Did I miss
We got to talk about this.
this expansion?
What is it other than a new lobby?
Walk
Because
you through it. It's
okay,
Wave 1 is a new lobby. Wave 2 is going to be Octo expansion, Splatoon 3ified.
that's what I figured.
Yep.
But like literally, wave 1 is just a new lobby.
Yeah, it is. It is just a new lobby, but it's more than Splatoon 2 was just the Octo expansion. So this having the new lobby and the expansion, I think it's cool. Like, I don't know why people are up in arms about this. It's a cool new place to go.
It's a lobby.
It is a lobby. Splatoon's all about the vibe. It's about feeling fresh and staying.
Get it? It's just like I wouldn't call that. Why am I buying that?
Yeah. It is interesting that it's like wave 1, wave 2. If it had just like come out at the same time, no one would be batting an eye. But
Not at all.
yeah, the fact that it's split up into waves is an interesting way to do it. But if you look at Breath of the Wild, wave 1 of its expansion pass was essentially nothing. It was like, oh, there's some treasure chests scattered around the world,
Right.
costumes in them. And then wave 2 was the actual new stuff. So it's the same approach here.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's the lobby from Splatoon 1, which very few people played. So they're appealing to a very specific segment of the Splatoon audience, of which I am in. So I actually got a little bit nostalgic seeing this lobby brought back. I thought
I did too. The vibes of that second drop though.
Yes.
Everything's brown and white. I was like, oh, I want to be here. What is this?
Well, I
want to know what
partially.
I want to know what it's all about.
So
Tell me,
remember
Logan.
the Splatfest that ended Splatoon 2 was Chaos versus Order. And Chaos won, and that determined the direction they take Splatoon 3, which is the Splatlands. It's like Mad Max Oasis. The town is super chaotic. I think this DLC looks like what they would have made if Order had won. It's called Side Order. Like, Order is in the title. And it's all white, like the Splatfest logo for Team Order back in, 2019, was this, like, all-white pastel, like, utopia. Like, the buildings, everything, it was just, like, very sterile, like what you think of when you think of, like, a utopian future or whatever. So that's what this is. And that's super cool that they're doing.
That's sick.
Yeah. Splatoon's like the coolest thing Nintendo makes. I think Splatoon is.
I feel like everyone like that is like a designer on Splatoon. They're just like, you walk in and it's just like, oh my god, like I get to be around you right now. Like,
yeah. But that's super cool DLC. I don't know how much the expansion is. I would guess 30. I would guess it's gonna be $30.
it can't be more than 30.
No, I was debating between 20 and 30. I think
I'm
Octo
like,
was 20, but this with the hub is probably going to be 30.
is it listed?
It is listed. We should find out.
It is listed. We should find out. We should give the people the right numbers. Splatoon 3 expand. I can't type with numbers. Expansion pass.
It is loading on Nintendo.com. Store product Splatoon 3.
It is available $24.99.
Oh, right in between. Split the middle.
Yeah.
So $5 for the lobby. Sure. Okay. That's
Sure.
Yeah, but
you did some work. I'll allow it.
Yeah. Yeah, you did some work. But also the Squid Sisters are going to perform during the Splatfests in the Splatoon 1 lobby, which is cool. I think it's cool. I'm building the world of Splatoon.
I think it's cool. It's more just like I've never seen any other game do that.
Yeah.
Like you're buying a lobby. I've never.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a weird sentiment. That's all.
Yeah.
But it's like Splatoon is probably the only game that it could work in.
Also, it makes sense because Side Order takes place in Inkopolis Square, which is where Splatoon 2 takes place. So Splatoon 3 has all 3 hub worlds now. So it's almost like they just wanted all 3 in this game. Got it. There's other DLC for some first-party games. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 teased its story DLC. Big old massive spoiler in there if you haven't finished Xenoblade 3, including myself. Yeah, but it's fine. Rex and Shulk are back from Splatoon 1 and 2. Or Xenoblade 1 and 2. Remember Shulk from Splatoon 1. Yeah, but so those characters are back in the big DLC coming later this year. And then Fire Emblem Engage is getting some new emblem rings, and it teased its story DLC, which is also coming at the end of this pass. Nintendo just got this formula. They have these big expansion passes that don't have the big meat till the end, but so you buy it right away when you're still into the game, you get these little things along the way. It works. I actually think it's a pretty decent approach to DLC, but all that's important about this Fire Emblem DLC is that Chrom is finally in it. Chrom is the best Fire Emblem character, and he is a part of Fire Emblem Engage DLC.
Sure.
Yep, it's true. Engage is great, man. It's amazing. I'm on chapter 18, and I'm loving it. It's a great game. I don't think you care, though, based on your facial expression right now.
I'll never play it. I'm not going to play that.
It's phenomenal. And there was also a new Bayonetta Origins trailer and some impressions, some early previews have been hitting some outlets. It actually sounds kind of interesting. It's got kind of that, Brothers, The Tale of Two Sons, the Joseph Fares game. Yeah. It has that. You control Bayonetta with one control stick and the demon with the other. And you do puzzles working your way through this storybook world controlling these two characters. It's actually kind of interesting. Gameplay looked cool. I don't know. I think this one...
Interesting that they chose Bayonetta for this game.
I guess Platinum just wanted to make this. And then...
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I think it's cool that Nintendo's publishing this. That weird little thing, that spin-off for Bayonetta that Platinum wanted to make. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's out next month in March. Some third-party stuff to rip through here. Octopath Traveler 2 demo is on the eShop coming February 24th. Bot and Kaitos 1 and 2 remastered coming this summer. That's a big deal for people. Ghost Trick is coming to Switch this summer. Holy crap, Ghost Trick rules! And that's coming this summer. It is a Capcom game from the DS era, written by Shu Takumi, who is the creator of Ace Attorney, and it is a murder mystery where you're this detective who dies back as a ghost to solve his own murder. How cool is that? It's so cool. And it's got that same Ace Attorney spirit in its writing and script. It's super expensive on DS, so for it to come back on Switch, very cool. Samba de Amigo Party Central coming this summer. That's a long-lost Wii franchise.
So this actually leaked before the Direct. Yep. And it's one of those games, like, I remember when I had a Dreamcast and a Wii, I always wanted it, and I never played it. And I was watching the trailer for it, and I was like, man, me like 2 years ago would have been all about this. Because I went through a very heavy rhythm phase, and now I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Rhythm feels like a Wii era thing.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. Hi-Fi Rush slaps, and that's out right now.
But this is like dancing, Just Dance rhythm. Yeah.
Disney Illusion Island comes to
I can't wait for this game.
I put this on because I thought you would like it.
Oh, man. If you're a fan of Rayman Legends, this looks like it's like that same DNA. And you got the Disney, like that, whatever Mickey cartoon that is. Where he, with the gif of him running towards Minnie and he goes, what happened? It's like that same cartoon. Man, I can't wait for this game. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Me too. Yeah. I even wrote in my notes, gives Rayman Legends vibes. It totally does. Yeah. Which I'm playing
totally
now.
Does.
And I'm sorry, Boardroom listeners. That game should have been on our top 10 Wii U games. It's amazing. That game is amazing.
It is.
Yeah. We Love Katamari remaster coming out. And Sea of Stars has a demo on the eShop right now and is coming on August 29th.
I'm probably going to play that demo. Yeah. That game looks real good. And I don't tend to play RPGs very often. But just the vibe of everything I saw today, I was like, yep. I want to see more.
If this is the last year of the Switch, what an amazing first half of the year we're gearing up for.
Yeah.
Wow, it is not dropping off at all. Like, there's so many amazing things coming out. Third parties are releasing games to capitalize on this 120 million install base. It's just awesome. It's awesome. It's just sometimes crazy. Like, when that fashion game showed up, sorry, no offense to anyone who's worked on that game or is excited for it, but when that fashion game showed up, I was like, are we about to get like a vintage Wii U era Direct where there's like
that was exactly what I thought.
Yeah. But no, we got an amazing direct. The Switch is, I think, no question, the greatest RPG machine to ever exist. Like, and it just gets more all the time. It's been lacking in the visual novel department, and now we're getting Ghost Trick and Layton, which is incredibly exciting. Just give me one more Ace Attorney, please. And then the first party stuff is like really exciting. Pikmin looks amazing. We didn't talk about Pikmin. We totally skipped it. Pikmin looks awesome. It looks
It's
so
the first
good.
thing they showed.
Yeah, I just totally passed over it on this list. It's coming out on July 21, and it has Ice Pikmin and a little Poochie-like dog companion named Ochi.
I love him.
It looks great. It takes place in a backyard. We're back to collecting treasure rather than fruit, and it looks awesome. Like the levels that exist, like in the backyard of this just like suburban home, give it a very different vibe than the other Pikmin games. I think it looks super cool, and I'm just happy this exists. This Pikmin feels like the last big thing that Miyamoto still has his hands in, and I really like it for that.
I think he likes that.
Yeah.
Like, I think he just, it's his sandbox at this point.
Yep.
What do you make of the last like couple of moments of that trailer with the little red eye guy?
What I make of it is that in Pikmin you usually have to make it back to your ship before nightfall, or you lose the Pikmin that are out. I think this says that's done, but it's just going to be dangerous as hell if you're still out at night.
It's like the dark zone in what is that game?
Prime 2?
No, it's a Ubisoft game, The Division.
Oh.
You get in there and it's just like, I don't know. That's where my head went. You get there. And no, you know what it is? It's like the Red Moon in Breath of the Wild.
That just respawns everything.
I don't know what it's like then.
That's fine. It's like some RPGs where the monsters are stronger at night. That's
right. Yeah. That's the thing.
But Pikmin 4 looks awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And
I'm super pumped. It did. I'm glad they're still making Pikmin games. Like, it's the type of franchise that I feel like it's definitely a love or hate in my book. And I feel like lately the more people that I have talked to about it, many of them are like, I loved Pikmin 3. I did not play it on the GameCube. And it's like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm always surprised at the number of people that played it on the Wii U. And I'm like, there's like 3 of us that own this thing. Like, how did you play it on the Wii U?
That's why.
What's that?
Because it was the only game out. So people had to play it. It like launched in this like drought of software because first party releases always ended a drought of software on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why. I played it on the Wii U. It was my first one.
I loved it on the Wii U.
So I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it looks phenomenal. A great direct. And we're going to talk about financial results on next week's show. Get excited. I love them. Chris doesn't care, but we're going to talk about him in next week's edition of the Toadstool Boardroom. But that's it. Another episode of the Boardroom in the books. Thanks so much for listening. We're a weekly Nintendo podcast here every Thursday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. You can email us, toadstoolboardroom@gmail.com. What do you think of this Nintendo Direct? And find us on Twitter at ToadstoolBR. And yeah, that's actually a real question. Send us in. What was your favorite part of this Nintendo Direct? If it's Zelda, say that and pick something else. So, Zelda.
And not only that, what was something you expected to see or wanted to see that we did not get?
F-Zero.
And be realistic. Don't be like Banjo 3, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And if you like the show, leave us a review or a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Helps with visibility for the show. And we'd love to get more listeners here in the Boardroom. But for now, you can find Chris on the interwebs at
Shrives93,
where you can watch his big gender reveal for his upcoming little Nintendo fan. You're having a baby, Chris. Congrats.
Thank you very much. It's a little baby Mario.
Oh.
Little baby Link.
Oh.
Coming soon out of a wife near you.
Okay. And you can find me on Twitter at Logan J. Plant. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week right here in the Toadstool Boardroom.